Hello, SpeedGaming, and welcome. We're here
Hello.
with the Super Metroid Map Rando weekly race on SpeedGaming 2. I am Aussie101. With me is Daniel, who
How's it
is,
going?
it's going good. We're about to see the race. We just started in the race room,
Yeah, so
and yeah,
we
you can
sh
go ahead.
yeah, we see them start to hit that start game button any moment now. And I expect we're probably just gonna see the same start. Hit start instantly, check the map, try and see if they can find where the map is, and go left. That generally seems to be the game plan
Maybe
for
hit the
most people.
reset button first.
Yeah, let's gotta make sure the controls are good.
Yeah. Yeah, so Map Rando lets you set the controls from the generate ROM page. So we don't normally see people jump into that at the start of the pause screen here, or the start screen here. I guess we're waiting for Restream to catch up, and Nitro takes a quick lead.
Just in
A
the
little bit
technical
desynced.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're watching for a pause to see where the map is.
Ooh,
Um,
missile door right at the gate too. So we're gonna
yeah,
have to head to the right. It's the only door we have available to us right now.
yeah. But we do have fast resets, so it's a little bit faster to just teleport that short little distance back to
And Nitro overshooting the jump. Nevdi gets the space jump, able to make it across mode now.
space. We'll
So
pretend he picked it up.
yeah, so Nitro gonna pick up the space here, and then also these supers that Nevdi picked up. This now opens up Nevdi to head straight up top to the room, the top right. This is now pretty much, it's either that or shoot that missile door. There's basically the two options available to us right now. We're still pretty limited on things we can do.
Yep. So map rondo, you want to save frequently and often, both. Um, there's a split in where you can go right now, so maybe you want to reset back to that later. And we see that going left is going to be morph locked, and so Nibdy's just going to use the reset and be able to check the other way up top right.
Yeah, we should hopefully see more here soon. Sometimes seeds like to be a little rude and hide more way later than you'd prefer. You know, seems like sometimes you get it instantly. It seems pretty early now, but uh, that's gonna be a nice pickup there for Nevdi, and Nitro gonna be not far behind.
Yeah, the preset has a number of items set to show up generally early, and morph is one of those early items. But then space jump is on the later side. It's just that space jump opens up a lot early on.
Yeah, if it's gonna lock morph, like uh if a seed is gonna lock morph, it's gonna give you like a bunch of other kind of major items to help counteract the fact that you're missing morph for a while. Things like early speed booster, I've noticed, are pretty common, and sometimes the situations where you don't have morph for a while. But with the morph, we're gonna be able to see Nevdi here now go to the criteria room, get the little Alcatraz escape, and then explore some of those other
Mm.
doors there in
So
parlor.
so Nitro could have scouted the item type, but morph ball alone is not enough to get to the item or out of spring ball room. Um, we can see on the mini map that Nitro's coming towards morph again. That it's a big hollow dot. I mean, it's just a big filled in dot, and so that means it's a major. And those are the important items that we're gonna be looking for. So the item types we have 1 pixel dots are the missiles. Hollow dots are supers, e-tanks, reserve tanks, and power bombs. And then filled-in circles are the majors.
Yeah, so obviously you're gonna try and get as many majors as you can, but right now in these early periods, also I would also pick up any of the big hollow dots. Specifically, we're looking for power bombs, I would say. more so than anything else. Or just get regular bombs. That also kind of helps solve a lot of the issues there.
Yep, power bombs are really nice to have. They already had a camouflage with space jump, so bombs are gonna be for the breakable blocks, and that's gonna leave power bombs still having value in breaking the power bomb specific blocks later. But then, as you said, we're still looking for the items that unlock various gates. This randomizer has a lot of gating because you don't know what requirement's going to come up, whether it's a super block or power bomb block or heated room, water room.
Yeah, and you're just gonna see here NevD checking the map, trying to see where that map station's at. Finding the map station generally one of the most important things you're going to be focusing on, I would say, because it's going to help reveal all the information in that particular given area. We're still in criteria here, I believe, so it will help kind of let you route out the path you want to take. And then we see going straight for the map room by heading up to this top left door of Parlor.
Yeah, always watch out for crabs. These, like, you can run directly into a water room, and your momentum is just going to carry you directly into a crab, and without an E-tank, that would be deadly.
Yeah, crabs do a lot of damage. No E-tanks, no suits. I think NevD potentially would have died. I can't quite remember how much damage they do unscaled.
It's 120.
Yeah, so that would have obliterated NevD. But nice little E-tank pickup here, and NevD is gonna also now head towards this room on the right, pick up that map.
That's a death for Nitro to the crab, as we were talking about.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So like the fun part of this map rando is that, like, obviously all the doors are randomized and stuff like that, and so you go from a dry room to a water room, and your moment, like, you have to be on the ball, because all of a sudden you might need to cut your momentum short by, like, holding angle down and stuff like that. And if you're not careful, you will just run straight into a crab. You gotta be hyper vigilant, I would say.
Yeah, it's when you try to turn around, that's the mistake generally, because you're going to very slowly turn around but continue moving forward. So what you want to do is called stopping on a dime, and that's when you hold angle and release direction, and so you'll stop instantly.
So yeah, I think NevD's gonna head down this.
Yeah, so we're watching for
Scrap deck.
Phantoon right now.
And it is Phantoon.
Yeah.
So the way we know it's Phantoon is if the map room is disabled, as a la Rex ship, that means that Phantoon is going to be that door to the right of it. Phantoon is directly connected to whatever the disabled map station is, and it will always be like a right-facing door specifically. So we know where Phantoon is. Unfortunately, it means we can't actually get the map information. And NevD is probably not gonna attempt Phantoon without at least some missiles to go for some Dopplers on Phantoon.
Yeah, it's very likely to run into missiles soon, and then you can just go back. But
Yeah.
the other thing is that once you get the map, you have to do a bit of a hard trick to get out. It's listed as an expert trick to do a 3-room gravity jump and into a morph to get back up through the crab hole. But that's a reason to talk about another feature in Map Rando, and that's if you reset, then you're going to keep all of your map information, like we have been seeing a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they could potentially kill Phantoon and then get the map information, and even if they can't do that trick, because it's not an easy trick, they could reset, but they still retain the information they get from it. They would just have to come back and kill Phantoon when they have the necessary majors that the logic would expect you to be able to escape that little crab shaft there.
Yeah. So the settings we're playing on is hard tricky with bosses as the objective.
Yeah,
There's
so
a lot of
that means they're gonna have to kill the 4 major bosses and then kill Mother Brain and escape. Is all that means.
yeah, and then the hard part means that the room difficulty is approximately similar to what everyone's used to in other randomizer tournaments and such. And then tricky is about the item placement. So the progression items are generally going to be behind some kind of hard trick relative to the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And then otherwise the filler items are going to be wherever. But the progression items are going to be in the harder locations. And one of the things that I find cool about Map Rando is how it can just make you do a trick specific to individual rooms that don't really come up in other randomizers.
Yeah, and there's some tricks that are like sometimes it's not just specific to that room. It's like it works because there's a room connecting to that room that allows you to do the trick. Specifically, in the case of things like underwater rooms and if you have speed booster, going from a dry room to a water room and having speed and stuff like that, it opens up a lot of new interesting ways to kind of solve whatever the logic is throwing at you.
Yep. But like Crab Hole, that only works with if the adjacent room is a dry room.
Exactly, yeah. Because you can, so essentially you can jump from a dry room like during the transition, and then it'll give you a gravity jump, which is a very, very high jump underwater, and that's part of the trick there. And so there's a lot of really interesting things that I think a lot of runners are having to learn for the first time. Especially, I know for me it's been a challenge. I've been learning a lot of interesting new tricks that have it's been really fun.
Yeah, there's many tricks that you like don't think about at all until it's required in a seed, but then once you're aware of it, then you can kind of figure it out.
So Nevdi finding Aqueduct on the bottom there of Parlor. That is in logic still because they have high jump. Snail climb is a way to get out of that, and they have bombs and power bombs, so it's like they could
So
potentially
logic
do
for
it.
Aqueduct is high jump plus spring ball or speed.
You
So it
need
either
both
wants
high
you
jump
to
and spring ball.
yes, it's high jump and spring ball to get the more trivial snail climb.
I see.
High jump alone isn't enough. And then with speed, it would also depend on the adjacent room, whether you can shine spark or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of those things that's really easy to do, but people aren't initially aware, is that if you run from a dry room into a wet room with speed, then you can still store a shine spark in the wet room.
Yeah, you just need to start from a dry room, even if you have like just that tiny bit of space. You know, as long as you start the sprint from the room prior, you're able to get speed.
Yeah.
But not applicable quite yet because our runners don't have speed boosters still.
Yeah, we see that left sand pit leads to nothing really. Oh, but we get a gravity suit.
Yeah, nice little early gravity suit.
And missile pack.
So that does give Nevdi the option to go and kill Phantoon now. The getting out of the crab hole a lot easier once you have gravity and space jump, obviously. So we may see Nevdi go for that, kill Phantoon, get the map, and then kind of see where they want to head to next.
Yeah, gravity is technically a sequence break right now. But I think the next progression item, wherever it is, would just lead right here.
See Nitro
But-
also now going to do Metal Pirates. We saw Nevdi do this. There's missiles here in this Bomb Teresa room, which Nitro could do and pick up the missiles, which it looks like they are going to do it. They're going to just blast Bomb Teresa here with, is it what, 2 missiles and then 1 super is enough to kill him?
Yep. So we probably get a snail clip on Nevdi's side. Snail clip logically is an expert trick. For hard, you would use X-ray to get a bigger pixel window. Normally in like SMZ3, you'd never see anyone use X-ray. But it technically makes the trick easier, and so that's why it's required logically for hard.
Yeah, generally I think in most other randos, the use of X-ray is mostly for things like plasma and charge for microwaving bosses and stuff.
I am the tracker. I'll probably forget again.
You see Nevdi now picking up the 2 missile packs with that snail clip, and I definitely think they're going to head to Phantoon now. 15 missiles, really comfortable for Phantoon. 4 E-tanks, especially comfortable, so...
Oh, crab shaft looks logical, so maybe this is what you were meant to do. Just get up here with high jump.
Yeah, only possible because of high jump.
Continuing through Croc Escape, though, would be scary, because this is a one-way. So
Yeah.
it would need to loop around to the top above Crab Shaft, and that kind of looks possible. And that's something that the map layout can just make you do.
Yeah, this is going to be the kind of the first big divergence between the 2 runners here.
Yeah. But yeah, this Phantoon, it's been really awkward not having missiles early on, because you really wanted missiles for Phantoon. But the map is super important to have. And so they've been kind of blindly running around for a while now, not having access to the criteria map.
Yeah, just kind of hoping that they run into the items, the good items and stuff. I mean, you can luck out. There's some reading of the logic you can try and do based on things here and there. Some people are really skilled at things like that, but right now we're going to see Nevdi finally getting the first map station of this and kind of looking around, seeing if there's any other major items here in criteria. You see there's Ridley on the bottom left there of criteria. So Nevdi's going to have to come back here at some point because no Varia and 4 E-tanks, not enough ammo to really kill Ridley right now.
Yeah. It looks like the items here are just the hollow dots, and those aren't super important right now. But like, if you have this map sooner, then you can see that there's a major below Aqueduct that you can just easily sequence break to.
Seems Nitro picked up Wave Beam at some point and we missed it. That's a nice little get there. Wave Beam obviously going to help up the damage they do and open up some more things logically for them as well.
It's always really nice having any kind of beam for that extra damage.
Pea Shooter is not very good.
Mm-hmm. Gate glitching is in Logic and Hard, but that's also something you can do with Wave, is to get past blue gates.
Yeah, and gate glitching, I think for Logic, does it expect a certain amount of ammo for specific
yes.
scenarios?
So the number is 15, 15 of ammo, of one kind of ammo. So either 15 supers or 15 missiles. And that's on hard. It varies with difficulty.
Mm-hmm. You saw Nitro check that bottom door there. You may have noticed that bottom door had some kind of like caution tape on it. You know, we call it caution tape. It's a sort of yellow marker on the door. Especially in the case of doors that are like vertical, kind of like that, facing down and stuff like that. There's a lot of underwater rooms that that have doors like that, just kind of waiting for you. And so we saw Nitro just not even really check the door because they weren't 100% certain they could make it back, and unfortunately falling into the water and getting hit by the big old fish. Thankfully, they have a save nearby. This is why saving often is recommended, because you're constantly having to go through heated rooms like this without Varia. This is, it expects a certain number of E-tanks depending on the room. If you don't have Varia to make a hell run through it.
Yeah, and then if you're trying to piece together the logic, then you're just looking at room by room, and 3 tanks is enough for Powerhouse. A high jump space jump is enough for East Ocean. So it seems possible that you could be expected to come this way. But it's also, it's likely that you'd need a refill room to get back.
Yeah, or some type of farm room, something like that.
Yeah. Big hoppers are going to kill Nitro in 1 hit. They do 80 damage.
Yeah, so you see Nitro taking it very, very safe right now. And honestly, that gravity jump, that gravity suit that Nevdi has is helping them really, really keep up and in terms of like where Nitro is exploring. Because Nevdi has already killed Phantoon, but Nitro hasn't done so yet.
Yeah, they both have to go back to Criteria for the Ridley fight. So, like, the boss kill isn't devastating, but missing gravity is.
You see, we're still picking up missiles and stuff like that until we find charge. I assume the runners are going to pick up pretty much any like easily accessible ammo, especially anything that's a hollow dot, supers, PBs, and things like that. But charge is not really guaranteed.
Yeah, I find that
it exists somewhere, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna go out of their way to find it, because they're trying to finish this fast. It's a race after all.
Yeah, I find that until you're like very comfortable on your E-tank count, then you want to pick up as many hollow dots as is reasonable.
See Nitro playing this room very, very carefully. The lava here in this room drains your health at an extreme rate, and so you have to play it very, very careful, because even with the no gravity suit, it means it takes that much longer just to even get out of it, and then with 131 HP, they could very well die if they're not careful.
Oh, we have a map. So Nevdi made it to the map first, and is now going to know where to go. And it looks like if you kill Croc, you get the major, and if you don't kill Croc, you have to do a long heat run and then are maybe stuck.
Yeah, but there is a major there in Mama Turtle. They go up the elevator, and then up Terminator.
Reset.
Reset, interesting.
That is interesting. I'm not sure if this is closer to the Hodarubi missile room or not, but I don't think it's to collect criteria miners. And we're going to see what is left of Croc in a minute.
Nitro with more than enough ammo to really deal with Croc here comfortably.
Yeah. Croc logic is 25 missiles on hard, or 10 supers in this version, but we're going to move that up to 3 packs next release. Next release is expected to come within the next week, so might make a few mentions to that.
Yeah, and there's some runners that have been sort of doing tests and stuff of it. That's 113, right? The next one?
Right. Spring ball.
Got spring ball. Okay.
So spring ball is going to put gravity in logic. For those keeping track. But if you knew that you just had to snail climb to get back, then it wouldn't even be a soft lock to go down Aqueduct. But you just don't know what's down there, and coming to Norfair just looks more logical.
Yeah, Aqueduct's a scary room if you don't have speed or gravity. Really easy to find yourself in soft lock scenarios because of it. So if you are gonna check Aqueduct, it's one of those things where you want to have saved very recently prior to doing so, or feel really comfortable with some out of logic tricks, you know, that would be more expected in something like expert or something higher than that, you know.
Man, the hoppers in Morphroom are always scary because they're right in your face as soon as you enter the room.
Yeah, it's there's 3 of them. They do a lot of damage.
It is possible to react and not get hit, but it's hard. Getting empty bet to get grapple.
Yeah,
So we're
Nifty
playing.
had already seen
we're
this, so I think they're gonna head up to that Terminator check as well, and check what's in Mama Turtle.
You're gonna filter tracking through chat. It's just too easy to forget things. Tracking. But we are playing Super Metroid Map Randomizer. The website is maprando.com. And the site, you will find a link to our Discord. And so that's how we are organizing races. And also just talking to community, helping with strats and such, talking about what's being developed. So you can check that out. The website itself has some really cool info on like all the tricks that are required, how to get yourself started, and also the rules for the randomizer. The randomizer itself is very customizable. So I've said that we're playing hard tricky with bosses as the objective, but you can turn that down, you can turn that up. There's a lot of customizability to it. So if you don't want to do any of the tricks that you're seeing today, you can turn that down. And Super Metroid is a very complex game, so it's also possible to turn the difficulty way up.
Yeah, there's some runners who are truly cracked at this game, and are doing some really wild tricks. But even the tricks that are still required in hard, a lot of them I still feel, even though like I at this point feel like a pretty experienced Super Metroid runner, it's like this map randomizer is still kind of putting me through my paces.
Yeah, like the idea was to like try to match what we're all used to for like race settings. But it turns out that in map randomizer you're going to have just a lot fewer items whenever a situation comes up. So like lava dive is a very common trick, but in map rando, lava dive would, well, you'd be expected to do it closer to minimum items, and so that means you can't fail the wall jumps, and that's not so good for like a race.
Yeah, especially if you haven't saved recently. That is it's one of the main reasons we're always recommending you should see a save point. You should probably use it, because it is it's really easy to just die from lack of health, resource, and stuff like that. We did see Nevdi pick up Varia there at the end here. So Nevdi now with both suits, that damage reduction going to be a big deal, and also now doesn't have to worry about how having to do any hell runs or anything like that. So currently Nevdi, I would say, mostly just trying to find ammo and charge, ammo or charge right about now, or speed and ice. We still have to. There's like a couple things, but Nevdi kind of sitting in a good spot.
Yeah, Nubdi also has the map advantage. That's both maps. Nitro doesn't have either. Yeah, Nubdi in a really good spot, and now can just decide not to do Croc. Major wise, looking for mostly charge, but I think we also saw that Ridley was speed locked. It's hard to tell what Frog Speedway looks like, but I think Ridley looks speed locked.
I do remember them, one of them entering Frog Speedway at some point. So we've seen Frog Speedway in Criteria for sure. I don't remember if it was the pathway to Ridley, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, so that's why speed is like sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. And for now, I'm gonna say that we need it until we see otherwise.
Yeah, Nevdi, I think, probably deciding whether or not they want to kill Croc. They don't know that spring ball. Only Nitro so far is the one who's picked up the spring ball there. But with Gravity Suit, I think Nevdi has. Does Nevdi have the option to? Is there an alternate path, or is Croc the only way to get to that spring ball?
I don't know about the way back. The issue is more that there was heated rooms, and so left of Croc is single chamber, and that has like 3 levels of doors leading to the right. And I saw the middle one goes through Croc. So if he's going through Statue's hallway here, then it should connect. So yeah, just going around Croc. And then Nitro gonna get the map now that it is Varia as well. But he's already gotten everything here.
Yeah, Nitro still doesn't have gravity. That's back in Criteria. But they have everything they need logically to go and get it.
Giving us reverse Croc.
Yeah, just to visit. It's one of the things that you start to get really used to in Map Rando is being able to identify rooms just by how they look like on the map. Isn't always something that I think people are really thinking about. But it is extremely, it's a good skill to have, because it helps you, once you get the map, to plan out your route and everything like that. It lets you know what you can and can't do, and also potential soft locks you might run into. But that's just, it generally comes with experience more than anything else.
Yep, exactly. Super important to know your upcoming soft locks, what items you need to finish a seed, like all that.
Ooh, some underwater wall jumps here from Nitro.
Going off.
That is not easy to do, and it's not expected logically. What difficulty is that expected on, if at all?
That is extreme.
Yeah, it is extremely. It is not an easy trick by any means, but Nitro pulling it off flawlessly there. Very cool and very well done.
I don't know if it'll help, but here's the list of the difficulties. It goes basic, and then medium, and hard. And hard is what we're on now. And then very hard, expert, extreme, insane, and beyond.
So Nitro made a save. We're going into Meridian now.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, this is not a fun room. But they do have Spring Ball, so they're still okay. High jump, Spring Ball, that does give them the option to get out still. This is a tricky one.
I'm not sure if the left side of the room is logical. The cool way to do that jump is to Just be morphed and do a spring ball jump. And just jump up to the door. Yeah, you have to spring ball jump off of this gravity jump. But I don't think that gravity jump is in herd. Logically.
I don't think so either. But it looks like Nitro's going for it.
Yeah, it's better than resetting.
Yeah.
But it's where you have to wiggle around the ceiling. That part's not in herd.
It's very, very tough to do. And then on top of that, you have to get a spring ball jump at the end of it, which is
Been missing high jump all this time.
not easy to do.
Whoops. So Nevdi does have Ridley ammo. No, the issue with Ridley is the potential speed lock. He's going back though. Guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we might see Nevdi check the map here just to see if they need a refresher on how to get to Ridley, or they just might have memorized the map that well. So that is Frog Speedway.
Yeah. Then on the right is Decora Room. So left and right is speed locked.
Yeah.
Maybe just
so
now realizing.
Yeah, I think Nevdi is probably gonna have to go into Meridia. Gravity suit gonna make that really, really easy for them. Nitro now finally gonna be getting this Phantoon kill.
Yeah, this is good. Catching up on the map knowledge. Also good. Gonna see that major that's accessible and in logic.
Yep. And then that'll
Having
give
high
him that,
jump and spring ball.
Yeah, that'll give him that gravity suit.
This Phantoon kill, not actually in logic currently. Because crab hole would be a double spring ball jump, or it's a tricky through door jump into morph.
Yeah, you have to do like you have to jump through it and then morph and then like already be holding. It's not easy.
Boss kill here. I'm sure he'll be able to get out.
Yeah, we saw Nitro hitting some really nice grab jump.
Yep.
Stuff. We see Meridian now. There's a way to Brinstar, which is probably what Nevdi sees as significant because there's no bosses here. We're still, we know where Ridley is, but we don't have any knowledge on Kraid or Dragon yet, or even Motherbrain for that matter.
Yeah. So what you're thinking right now is Nevdi is that Ridley is back in Criteria, and you're moving farther away from him. But also you need to be checking majors to find speed because speed is a required item. So like normally you'd want to kill Ridley before continuing further, but since you just actually need speed, then you gotta find that first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, looks like we're getting double spring ball jump. Very small frame window for this trick. Something you want to be pre-practiced at. But
Nailed
once
it.
you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Metroid rooms are a little scary in map Rando when you don't have ice, but Nevdi with a lot of E-tanks, it's going to be, and charge now.
Charge.
It's going to make, it gives you the option to pseudo screw past them if you really don't want to take damage, but I think Nevdi is just going to do the real basic strat that you normally see and just get away from them. But charge is a big find.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do always have to think about your end game. But it looks like to keep the charge, we have to do a baby skip.
Yeah. You don't have to land the baby skip, but you have to be very careful if you don't land it, because you will have 1 HP. And that's a scary situation, but nails.
Very nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Yep, that was without speed. So,
I just realized that too. I don't know that I can do that.
yeah, normally you learn it with high jump speed and wave and all the items.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets a little bit harder without speed, and then a lot harder without high jump.
Very, very difficult with a high jump for sure. High jump is probably the thing that I would say affects it the most in terms of difficulty. Nevdi, really quick access to this map room, which is always nice. Sometimes map rooms are really out of the way, but here we can see that there's a major here up in that's what, Main Street, right?
Yeah, right next to him.
And then also
there's that gravity suit.
There's gravity suit for Nitro, and we also see in Brintstar we see Kraid not far from where Nevdi is as well. So there's a lot of options here for Nevdi.
Yeah, we're really only focused on the speed booster, and then after that is boss information. So speed plus information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because we have charge, so ammo isn't too important, and the beam is strong enough.
So we see another major there in Green Hill Zone. Oh, we also see Mother Brain at the top of Brintstar as well. So Brintstar giving Nevdi still a lot of options, but I think they're going to Green Hill Zone first.
Okay. This sand pit is a trap that Nitro is going down. So the worst would be to find enough ammo to fight Ridley, and then getting stuck after the fight.
Yeah. And it is some nice ammo. Plasma here for Nevdi. That charge plasma
Nice.
is going to be very, very convenient. It's going to speed up the Ridley fight and the Mother Brain fight considerably. You see Nevdi sees another major there in one of the sand pits, I believe.
Oh, the decor room doesn't even connect to the left side. So it's only Frog Speedway that we're concerned about for Ridley.
Now we're checking Torian. Nevdi's still looking for Dragon and Speed. Nevdi has to go back and kill Kraid anyway, and Ridley, so it's one of those things that not getting Kraid right now is not a huge deal. They can explore Torian a little bit, potentially find Speed, and then that would give them go mode pretty much, and they can do cleanup from there.
I feel like I missed where Torian was on the...
To the bottom of Brintstar, at the bottom of Green Hill Zone.
I was looking at the wreck ship entrance because it had a major next to it. Miss Torian. But this appears to be close to the map. Yeah, map's right here. There's your boss.
There's Dragon, and there's one major up top. Could be Speed.
Yep, that is Norfair Reserve. So 2 items. And it's possible for another major to be hidden there, but not too likely.
At this point, that'd be wild to see 2 majors
yeah,
kind of hidden away in Norfair Reserve.
The whole map open.
A screw attack actually going to speed up a lot of these rooms for Nevdi.
This is Nitro learning that Ridley's speed locked. It's possible to go to cross the room that Nitro's in, but there's no way to get back without speed. And I think Speedless Speedway's in Hard Logic. Don't actually remember. But in Map Rando, it's always going to ensure that you have a way back. And any items that you pick up after going down a path aren't part of the requirements in getting back. So that's why gravity wasn't in logic when Nevdi picked it up. Like, it lets you get back once you have it, but the randomizer is not going to account for that.
Mm-hmm. So taking care of that Dragon for Nevdi, they're probably going to make their way up to that Norfair Reserve room we were talking about just to check that major.
Mm-hmm. It's fairly close to the path.
And if that's not speed, then the major that's kind of close to Kraid probably is speed at this point. There's not that many majors really left to really choose from. Nevdi does have screw tech, by the way, just for tracking purposes.
Oh, does he? He does.
Yes.
So you have very few majors left. It's just 3 of them, looks like.
Yeah, X-ray, ice, and speed are the remaining ones.
So power bombs, item 1. X-ray, item 2.
So Nevdi really hoping that that major near Kraid is speed.
Yeah, Nevdi's route was looking pretty good so far, but if speed was just left behind back here, then someone else in the race could have just picked it up sooner. And all this time, we've been moving away from Ridley. So, like, if you have speed, then you could have gone towards him sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the trip to Dragon is completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, they had to do it anyway.
Yeah. And, like, meets back up to where you would branch off for Mother Brain later. Like, there's no time lost in going that way.
Yeah, and just to give people context who are watching, we're showcasing two of the runners here in the race, but this is actually, you know, how many people do we have in this race? 17 entrants?
Yes, 17 entrants.
So a nice turnout for a Map Rando community race on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. On a busy Wednesday, looking at the SpeedGaming schedule.
And speaking of speed, there is our speed booster that we need. So Nevdi now here in go mode, gonna kill Kraid, make their way back to Ridley, and then they're gonna have to come back here to Brinstar to kill Mother Brain and make their escape.
Mm-hmm. And then ice is just 2 out of the way. We're not going to be picking that up.
Yeah, the most ice can really do for us now is potentially Nevdi has speed, but the room before I haven't really seen the room to the right of Mother Brain, so we don't know how much like leeway there is for like a short charge. At worst, Nevdi might just have to kill the Zebatites with ammo, and then deal with it that way. But that's just a worst case scenario.
Yeah, Nevdi does have a lot of ammo, like if that does end up happening. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But something to keep in mind when the time comes. I'm pretty bad about looking to check if speed, like if Mother Brain has a runway that allows for a speed zeb skip.
I think the room I saw, it might have enough of a runway for a short charge, especially because in Map Rando,
this baby skip.
Yeah, this is without the speed booster.
Made it.
Yeah, it is tough, but they're still landing it very nicely done.
Yeah, and Key Stairs is a scary room, so good to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting through Key Stairs with 1 HP, they would have to, you know, they can go down, but then they still have 1 HP until, you know, the next situation. Everything is scary at this point. You have no reserves. still, so it would have been spooky. But both runners landing the baby skip.
Mhm. Yeah, these are two very skilled runners, Nifty and Nitro. Like mostly from past tournaments, like the Dash and Varia. But they've also moved on to Map Rando now, started learning this. And the tricks that come with it. There's Screw Attack. Yeah, it's the free item by the map. So once again, we're playing Map Rando. The settings are hard, tricky bosses. Map Rando, the concept is taking all the rooms in the game and shuffling them around. And then the important part is that it builds a cohesive map so that you can logic out which rooms connect to which other rooms. I mean, like how much space is between rooms, and then you can guess how they're going to be connected.
Yeah, we see Nitro picking up Ice Beam here. It's the only major that Nevdi does not have. Otherwise, Nevdi has done a full pickup of every single major item that exists in Super Metroid.
Then unfortunately going direct ship, and this is not going to have anything.
Yeah, so we already know that we know where all the bosses are, and we also know that Wreck Ship has no bosses and no majors, so it's probably just a sea of missiles and some hollow dots there, maybe some supers, stuff like that. Nice for ammo, but not very useful for completing the rest of the seed.
And so that's why map stations are super important to find, because you just run here to the map, and then you're going to see that there's nothing here, and you can leave. Don't have to explore everything individually. We do get to see Reverse Shack Tool. This is always fun. The snails can eat the sand.
I did not actually know this, and I feel dumb now. Oh no, I'm a Super Metroid speedrunner, I swear.
It's impossible to have that situation in vanilla.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know about it. So Nevdi killing Ridley there. They have also already killed Kraid, so Nevdi now just needs to make their way to Mother Brain and make their escape. Part of the fun part of the map rando is because Mother Brain can be anywhere. The escape from Mother Brain is sometimes very, very interesting because Mother Brain can be pretty far away from the ship and criteria, and so the map rando will give you an adequate amount of time to escape from the exploding planet. So we'll be seeing that here once Nevdi makes their way back to Brinstar, because unfortunately, because Ridley was speed locked, it required everybody to make this trek back to criteria just to get this Ridley kill.
Yeah, like we already know from area randomizers just how costly a backtrack across like the whole world can be. So this really eats into your time, but everyone has to do it. So it is what it is. And yeah, we'll get to see the escape later. The escape's a really fun part of the randomizer, especially like when you're new to it. But because it's a lot more likely that you can fail it, there's also an autosave that happens after the Mother Brain fight.
Yeah, it's kind in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Not every randomizer would be that kind, I would say, but I think it is, especially for how like learning and improving and stuff like that. It is always extremely nice that if you fail the escape, you can just do the quick reset. It'll bring you right back to the Mother Brain room, and you can try again instantly.
And we have seen like the best runners like fail these hard difficulty escapes because hard gives you some extra time on the timer. But they're still tricky. You still have to know where to go.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things that like as you're making your way to Mother Brain, you're kind of keeping track of like, okay, this is the way back to where I'm going. There is a little bit of leeway for a speed skip there for Nevdi, because that is the room right before Lava Dive. I don't actually know the name of that room, but or Chronic Boost room, but
Yeah, chronic boost.
I don't. It would be a pretty tight short charge. It's not a ton of space. The Mother Brain room does give you a little bit of extra room for the short charge. It become easier to explain what I mean once we actually get into the room. You'll notice that there's like these. You won't see them, but normally if you find the Mother Brain room and haven't beaten the 4 bosses, there will be like 4 columns that are blocking your path, and for each boss you defeat, it will remove one of the columns until you defeat all 4 bosses, and therefore remove all of the columns. Yeah, it's not a lot, so we're probably going to see Nevdi here just actually physically kill the Zebatites.
Yeah.
With ammo.
So it's probably going to be 2 missiles, 3 supers each. One way to think about it is that it's 44 missiles for all of them. But you also need the 18 projectiles for Mother Brain, plus 3,000 damage, and the 6 for the glass. So you gotta do a bit of missile math here at the end.
Yep. Nevdi with more than enough ammo though, and just gonna be doing a charge kill here on Mother Brain. Does have to worry about, they have 2 E-tanks to work with, so it should be enough wiggle room for them to get through this pretty reliably. But you take a lagless catch up or something like that, you might be in a scary situation.
Yeah, a double hit catch up and some other damage.
Yeah, you see the catch up phase starting here for Nefty. It's going to end pretty soon. Charge Plasma, very, very powerful. Only ice would make this a little bit faster. And then we're going to see the damage to get to 3 tanks. Mother Brain still will waste time to damage you down to 0 E-tanks if you don't do that.
And we're going to skip the rest of the fight. Go straight to the escape. There's a couple of quality of life things like that just built into the settings.
All right, so we got 2 minutes and 10 seconds. That number varies depending on how far away the ship is from where Mother Brain is. There's certain situations where Mother Brain is pretty close to the ship, and it's like, all right, you got 40 seconds. Good luck, buddy. And you're like, oh no. So, and this is the situation now. Nevdi looking at their map, planning out their route, seeing here that they're in the worst room in the game.
Yeah, you can expect to see some pauses in the final escape.
For sure.
This is like Brinstar to Meridia to Norfair to Criteria.
Yeah, which is why it's giving us such a large amount of time.
Typically, like if you go fast, you have about 30 seconds left at the end. It's about how much lenience you get with this escape timer.
Does that vary at all based on the difficulty of the seed, or is it just calculated kind of statically?
Like the base escape timer is calculated per room.
I see.
At the insane level, and then there's a multiplier applied to that, and it's either 1.5 or 1.4 for about 50% more time on hard. And I just find that I typically end with about 30 seconds left.
So heading
And
up.
it's an in-game timer, so these elevators and transitions aren't going to be draining your time. Neither is
Yeah.
looking at the map.
Interesting that Nevdi would take the top route here still, even during escape.
As mentioned, Hyper Beam is going to break Super and Power Bomb blocks. Everything except for Crumble and Speed.
Yeah, so when Mother Brain does the Rainbow Beam attack, she drains all your ammo. So it can be at first, if you're not used to the fact that the Hyper Beam is going to destroy those blocks, you might get into a situation where you're like, what do I do? Like, I don't have any ammo or power bombs to blow up these power bomb blocks. You just have to shoot.
I guess we lost ice on Matrix now, but getting it again now.
And they'd be cutting a little close here, but the ship is pretty close. 15 seconds left.
Run your legs, Nevdi. Yeah, 12 seconds.
12 seconds remaining, and Nevdi actually wins the community race. They finished in first place here with a time of 1 hour and 19 seconds. So congratulations to them. It's not just the little showcase here that they've won. They've won the entire 17-person race.
Yeah, really well done. The route looked really good overall. Especially the
early gravity was a huge gap.
Yep, early gravity was huge. And like I've been saying, if you're really trying to follow logic, then you can put that off for too long.
Yeah, and that's kind of the situation that happened with Nitro. It's like Nitro really didn't. Nitro followed the logic pretty cleanly, but they there's no way for them to really have known that gravity was going to be there. It was a gamble that paid off big for Nevdi.
In the future, I'll mention that gravity won't be able to be in that position. It's one of the changes in the next release. That is where you can just fall down Aqueduct without items and
then just
find gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have Nevdi up here in a minute. Can talk to him about how he's feeling about winning the big old community race. Had lots of big names in this race, so it's an achievement.
Yeah, some notable names. We got Oats and Goats. We got Eddie. Solsky is a part of it. There's a lot of very, very strong runners that are participating.
Oh, welcome, Nevdi.
Hey guys, GG.
Congratulations on the win. Very nicely done.
Yeah, thanks. Felt pretty good overall. I mean, I did make some errors that I think I'm gonna have to fix in the long term for this mode, but overall, pretty happy with the structure and the idea. But yeah, going back to criteria, forgetting that both ways for speed lock was pretty bad. I thought that might have cost me, but yeah, in the end it didn't.
Yeah, that was like the only kind of big mistake that really comes to mind is heading back all the way to criteria, looking and seeing, oh, that's Frog Speedway and that's Dracora Room, and
Yeah.
I can't get to Ridley actually at all.
Yeah, if I paid a bit more attention, it would have been okay. But I also was going to skip that Springboard Major too. So when it was speed locked, I was kind of like, oh well, at least that was a necessary check to make. The other thing, I probably should have reset or not bothered farming on the Fast Pillars Hell Run. But other than that, yeah, pretty happy. I think I was most happy with the end of the seed to make the call to go into Turian before worrying about getting all the majors. I don't know if anyone else did that or if people went to Wreck Ship, but that felt like the biggest potential for variance was picking Wreck Ship or Turian for the
Yeah.
The Meridia
Yeah, I
boss.
would have been tempted to go to Wreck Ship, seeing that
What
major there.
what is Ridley doing?
Nitro?
What is Ridley
What
Huh?
have you
doing?
done?
What did you do to Ridley, Nitro? Oh, okay.
Oh, new manip just dropped.
Uh,
Wait, can he jump in the claws? Oh my god.
What is? I had no idea what just happened. That is.
Oh, never seen that before.
I have no clue what just happened. Ridley just kind of said, "You know what? My bad, man. You can have this. You can have this fight. You just take it. I don't want
Like
it."
normally, if he's stuck, he's gonna be stuck in the floor, and so that's why Nitro would think to power bomb, because that's how you like get out of that situation. But, wow.
Yeah, that was new. Yeah, obviously I think Wreck Ship with the major down there was tempting, but there was two on the right hand side. It just looked like it looked, and I think I was already over there for the map. I can't remember now, but there was two on the right to Terrain, and that's what led me over there. And I was trying to think like, is there any way that this not being speed would screw me in Terrain? And I didn't think it would. So I was pretty confident to go into Terrain with that save and then reset to Wreck Ship if need be.
Yeah, it ended up being Wreck Ship was absolutely nothing. No majors or bosses in Wreck Ship, so going to Torian was the play.
Was
and
it a
big
hard
one
map to get to?
to Wreck Ship map? Not.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't super out of the way. It wasn't like instant. Like there was actually a lot of map rooms in this seed that were kind of like you enter the area and the map room is just conveniently there for you, which is not always the case.
Yeah, this was a
so-
really nice map one. I like this one.
Yeah, it's like the two most out of the way maps in this one were probably the Phantoon one, and that was mostly just because it was missile locked for a little bit for a lot of runners.
Mm.
And technically, logically, it was also gravity locked.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the gravity, actually, that I don't think this happens in the next. I think I had to make this call in this one, but in the next logic or something, that can't be like springboard gravity or anything, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can't be gravity in the next update.
Yep. I think maybe I'd still go down because I could get out with a snail climb, but it's pretty slow. But the high jump boots opens up the path to the north head or the Meridia door. But yeah, it was still a good. I just wanted Phantoon done. I just wanted something to help me with Phantoon a bit, so I was going to get some missiles and then do that grab jump through the map room door. But when it was gravity, I was like, okay, that's even better.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it affected the how many other runners in the race got an early gravity, but in terms of the because we were comparing you versus Nitro here, that was the biggest difference between the two of you. Is that Nitro kind of more followed the logic of how the seed was going, and didn't get gravity until they had all the necessary majors. And your trek to down into Aqueduct getting early gravity was really the biggest play that ended up giving you a pretty big lead.
Yeah, okay. That explains the difference between us here that I'm watching. I guess, I think if Phantoon wasn't there, probably don't do that. Oh, maybe in this logic I do. I'm just trying to think what I'd do in next logic, but Phantoon being there really made me want to consolidate him, so I really wanted to stick around and get some missiles and some progress while I was still there. I didn't want to head into the water rooms with high jump boots and do all that nonsense yet.
All you need just some missiles to get that Phantoon kill. It still took a while to find some.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of like in these, you get sort of trapped in that run, and then you're like, oh, I'm here now, I'll keep going. And suddenly you're halfway across the map, and you're like, oh, pretty invested now.
Nitro still have screw attack on, so they have to turn it off here for this little zep skip.
I'm guessing the major on the way to Wreck Ship was the ice beam.
Yeah, the one in Old Mother Brain room was ice.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
It's the only major you didn't pick up. Otherwise, you picked up every single major I think the game has.
So, Ossie, what do you think you do there? Do you follow the high jump boots and do the crab room, or do you stick in criteria? I'm curious to pick your brain.
I think I do Crab Shaft.
Yeah, crab shaft.
Like
That's the one.
Aqueduct
Yeah.
is, like, it is a good place to get items. I can see sticking around. Just looking for a missile pack is like not hard, and like not wanting to move away from Phantoon to get the map. But then you can't really do too much.
Yeah, that's true. And it has to be like,
You can't really expect Aqueduct to open to too friendly of rooms. So I think I'd rather go to Crab Shaft.
yeah, that makes sense. Maybe if you had
Depending on where the
speed,
save is.
aqueduct. Yeah, yeah. Speed would probably incentivize that aqueduct a little bit more, maybe. But without it, it's kind of like
Yeah.
you're just chasing rooms. Yeah.
I find sandpits are really awkward in this. Like
Yeah.
high jump normally lets you get through most of those, but it's very soft locky.
Yeah.
Boy, do I know it.
I was
been
learning
doing
some stuff.
A lot of practice seeds. I've soft locked so many times in aqueducts just because I'm still figuring out kind of all the logic it expects and stuff like that. Aqueduct is a really common soft lock point.
Yeah, especially if you start going down the sand pits. Like the room nitro is in the other one of that one. I only just learnt that springboard jump that you can do at the end, where you unequip it, kind of like a double springboard, and that's going to probably help me go down sand pits a bit more. You know, with high jump and spring, because they're just so
Spring flame.
valuable. Yeah, the spring flame, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I've been calling it.
it's pretty cool.
Cool that it works.
Yeah.
Unintuitive.
It's like a satisfying new trick I've never seen before. I was pretty scared in Escape. I was just watching Nitro nail this escape, but I was pretty scared in Escape. It's like I was so. I'm trying to not pause as much. You know, the better players who have been running this for a while, you see them look at the map and know what every room is and not pause as much. And it kind of cost me a little in Escape. I got really close on that timer because I was too stubborn.
It's like 13 seconds, something like that. 14. It was pretty close.
Yeah, usually you get like 30 left over, so I'm like, something's going wrong. I'm not gonna make it.
That's what Aussie was saying, is that usually kind of with hard tricky, it's something around 30 seconds is usually what you're gonna be finishing a seed with in terms of the escape timer.
So yeah, this croc escape,
Okay.
shooting the green gate from the wrong side, that is expected.
That
the
is,
escape.
Yeah, that's huge. I didn't want to spend the time to check it, but I probably should have known. I mean, you can't do crumble blocks right, but you can do every door and every. Yeah, that makes sense. I should probably.
Yeah, every gate or a block that would be an ammo block, super missiles, power bombs, etc. Those can all be shot with the beam.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
So we're getting Nitro finishing here, 27 seconds left. This is 4th place overall in the race with a 1:11:59. So GG's to Nitro.
Yeah.
I'll probably be happy overall. It's a pretty stacked lobby by the look of it.
Yeah, 17 racers. We got Nevdi in first, Oates in second with 103.02, Eddie in third, 104.59, Nitro in fourth, 111.59, and Spiffy Thomas in fifth right now with 112.32. Rest of the racers still, cleaning up. Potentially some of them are on escape right now.
Yeah. Pretty consistent with the race time points ish. That mix is there. What's up, Nitro?
Hello, sup?
Nice.
Get
stuff.
owned.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
This seed sucked. I hated this seed. I hated everything about it. Alright, I'm mad
I
about
liked it because I went the right way.
I hated it. This was just miserable. It's not the worst seed I've ever played, but it might be my least favorite, to be honest. I just it's so bad. I made a lot of
You went
really
into it.
dumb mistakes too that I shouldn't have. But
I
not.
only did one dumb one, but I pretty much just talking to these guys in comms. I got the gravity before going to Crab Shaft.
Yep.
Really?
Nevdi
Really?
went down.
No.
Nevdi went down Aqueduct very early, picked up gravity and had gravity pretty much for the entire seed.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's not that unreasonable, I don't think, but it just sucks that Grav is there.
Well, it won't be in the next.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
next
can't
update.
really
Yeah,
see it.
of course. Yeah, no, I got Grav super late, and there's just a bunch of time wasting stuff too. This was just like the early game for me was just miserable. I was doing a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah, you
And
got
Suits are
you
really
got
powerful in
you
this.
got grav late enough that because logically the seed wanted you to have grab before you did Phantoon. You did a double springboard jump to get away from Phantoon
Yeah,
after killing Phantoon. So you still didn't have gravity by the time you completed Phantoon.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I just needed to get
And
that map. Yeah.
it's hard to make the call that you mean like get the map and then grab jump out, or even just reset your Phantoon kill.
I wasn't sure if I could grab jump out, so I avoided killing Phantoon until I knew I had a way out. So I didn't go back until I had high jump and spring ball, which you got from like the left side of the map. That
Well, I had
like going
the
up
grab.
crab
I mean,
chance
yeah,
and all
sorry.
that. Yeah, but I
yeah,
I never
I know what
got
you mean.
grav before all that. I didn't know grav was there.
Yeah, I got what you mean.
Yeah, I'm sure you can grab jump out of the map room. I didn't know
Yeah,
if I
I
could.
think
can.
it's long enough runway. That's what I was gonna do after getting some missiles, but whoops, accidentally ran into gravity.
Yeah.
And then also at the end of the game, I chose to go to the right for the two majors in Turian instead of down to the wreck ship. So
Oh, so you just didn't even go to that area?
Nope.
yeah.
Oh
So
my
that-
god! How do you make all the right decisions? That's just messed up.
Yeah,
That's just messed up. You
Brain
can only get one right. Come on, you can't just
I know.
do everything right.
Well, I did skill issue after getting the spring ball. I went back to Criteria Aqueduct to go and kill Ridley because I knew he was there, and it was speed locked both ways,
Right.
and I was
Yeah.
kind of annoyed
Yeah.
because
It's
I
just
should have known
it's
that.
just so annoying. Just such a silly map layout.
That's
I made a
probably,
really
This is probably what made it so frustrating as a seed is that logically it had you go back to criteria like 2 separate
Very
times.
deep.
yeah. You have to get grab, and then you cannot finish it because you need speed. I made a really dumb mistake there too. I looked at the map like 3 times. I kept opening it. I thought that beneath the sand pit, I thought it connected to the left over to where Ridley was. So like I got grabbed,
no.
then I went down. I was
Went
like,
down
I saw the
there.
2 hollows. I was like, oh, I want supers for Ridley. I need to try and get ammo for Ridley. And like I thought the room connected, but it wasn't. It was wreck shipy tank, and I was very sad. I had to
Yeah.
reset and then go get grav again. It was just a huge waste of time.
I'm doing that like a week ago, but after doing so much, it happened to me so much that I just sit and stare at the map and I'm like, is this right? Can I get out? So I'm just spending probably way too long to confirm those things, but
Yeah.
that's happening. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah, but also I need to be able to recognize Frog Speedway because it's. Eddie was talking about it's like the one like
7
8
tiles.
tile, yeah, something like that.
Is it?
Like,
It's
I
the
have
one
no
that's
idea,
different.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you
believe it's
can
a-
recognize it if you're just paying attention. But I was not.
Sorry, Ossie. What did you say? Sorry, Ossie.
I believe it's 8 tiles, and yeah, every room that's noteworthy should be recognizable from the map. There's just so many rooms and so many little cues that you have to learn if you want to really get good at routing.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. It's just play a bit more lone rooms. I'm still only really learning about the wreck ship. Oh, sorry, attic rooms. I'm getting confused with. There's probably a few others, but overall, it's all pretty good.
All right, well, GG's.
Nicely done
GG's,
to
I
both.
finally beat you.
Yeah, I'm glad I.
Just took.
I mean, this is just miserable for everybody, I imagine. So, 4th isn't that bad, all things considered.
Yeah, pretty big lobby.
Yeah, it from the looks of it is like even if I didn't make all the mistakes I did, like I still would have probably been 4th just because of how large the time gap is, like just all the dumb stuff I did. Even if I didn't do all of that, it wouldn't have made a difference. So that's something at least. It
Yeah.
was just routing issues at that point.
That makes sense. Cool. Well, thanks so much, guys, for commentating this. Thanks, Daniel, for stepping out of the race. You sacrificed your fun to come here in comms. I do appreciate that. Nossi for putting it on, SpeedGaming as well, but everyone really appreciate it. This is awesome. And yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely, likewise.
Com's still fun for me. I get a lot of enjoyment from comms, and also I'm terrible at these, so I would have been in last place anyway.
Oh yeah, you're the real winner here for having not
yeah,
played.
yeah. I didn't have to play it. I just got to watch as everyone had to keep going back to Ridley. So it was great for me. But yeah, good job to both of you. Thank you so much for letting me hop on commentary, Aussie.
No, thank you for joining me here. It's been much better, I guess, broadcast having you here. So thanks for joining me. And also thanks to Nebny and Nitro for putting on a good race. And with that, I guess we'll close out here, and that'll be it. So see you all next mission. Also follow the runners, follow Daniel, all that. See ya.
Bye, everybody.